Hi, Alison. Welcome to the show. Alison, how old are you?
40, same as you.
40. Same as me, the big 40. I feel like a lot of the women in our program are in their 40s. I mean, we do have women that are in their 30s and 20s, but more so in their 40s and 50s in WinAtLife.
Yeah. I think when you click over to 40, like something just kind of, you just don't give a fuck anymore. But you do give a fuck about you start giving a fuck about yourself. And you're just like, nah, stuff all this other shit. I can't be bothered. Like,
You just get sick of doing the stupid diets, I think. Like, you can't do it anymore. Yeah, and you care more about, you want to feel good and sleep well. And, we even get some women going through perimenopause in their 40s too, and they've got all these symptoms. And I think, obviously, from just doing all the stupid diets, but we've all been there. And Alison has got 3 kids. Actually, her youngest is 1, and you finished your master's?
Yes, just finished master's in economics, yeah.
So she's pretty busy, and she was just telling me about how she also does this home, what did you call it for Labradors? What's it called?
I volunteer with Labrador Rescue, which is a national not-for-profit, and we take in Labradors and find new homes for them.
So you're like pretty busy.
Yeah, pretty busy.
Yeah. Got a little bit going on. So Alison, can you just talk about, why you joined the program? Like, what were the issues that you had prior to joining?
I suppose it's probably an all too familiar story. Just dieting my whole life, and diets worked and stuff, but it's just that I'll get sick of them. And then I put on a couple of kilos. Like, at first you'd be in denial, like you'd be doing some diet for ages and you'd be all slim and this and that. And then you just get a bit sick of it and things would start to creep in, and then you'd be trying on some clothes one day and you'd be like, oh, I think I'll put on a few kilos. And then you'd realize that you had, so I'd be like, oh shit. So I'd go searching for the next big thing, and that would, be revolutionary and change my world and all of that. And yeah, most of them, they work. But yeah, I just get sick of them, and just this kind of roller coaster that I couldn't get off of doing different stuff. And
what did you try? What of the different diets did you try?
Like a mixture of things that were a lot of restrictive ones, obviously, like a lot of just my own stuff, like doing strict calorie counting yourself. Then a mixture, like a hybrid version of strict calorie counting and super low carb. Like, I wouldn't even, I would stick to less than 30 grams of carbs a day. Like,
how did you feel?
Oh, pretty shit, because I was doing at least maybe 6 HIIT cardio sessions a week, plus 3 strength. I loosely call it strength training because it wasn't really. And then I've done years ago, I've done Weight Watchers, I've done paleo, I've done keto, some funny one from the UK that I can't remember the name of. Also, I was trying carb cycling last year. Based on some weird guy on the internet that was telling you how to carb cycle. And so some days I'd be eating 120 grams of carbs, and then other days I'd be eating 20. And it was meant to shock my metabolism into working better.
Did you always fall off the wagon and end up binge eating?
Oh, okay. I'm not actually a massive binger. I'm very, very strict. I am good at sticking to stuff, but then what I would do was I'd think, I'll do this 6 days a week, and 1 day a week I'll eat whatever I want, and that one day probably derailed everything, because I'd eat and I wasn't even eating 1,200 calories. Sometimes I would eat 800-900 calories a day, because I'd want to have a few glasses of wine as well, so you've got to build that in. But then 1 day a week I just eat whatever the fuck I wanted, and that probably would derail.
How are you even functioning on with trying to have with kids eating 900 calories a day?
I don't know. I think that I think a lot of the time I was a bit of an asshole. My husband actually said to me sometime last year, we've got to do something about your sleeping, like, because I've had lifelong sleep issues, and it was just starting to affect the whole family, really. Like, I was just so grumpy every morning, so many mornings, like I'd just be short with everyone, or I'd be in tears because I was that tired. And yeah, like I was just like, shit, I've got to do something about this. Like, yeah. And also I think after my third child, like I just didn't have the energy anymore to starve myself. Like, I have this thing, like when I'm pregnant, I eat whatever I want because I've been so sick in my last few that I just can't.
Which makes sense, given all the restrictive diets. You're probably so estrogen dominant. You know, I bet you now you're like now that you do this, you probably think, oh my God, no wonder I couldn't sleep.
Yeah, definitely. Like, because I was hardly eating anything. Like, I'd eat like 2 meals a day, and those meals became so important. Like, they had, and yeah, in my mind too, like they became like they had to be perfect. Like, and I'd want, like, you know, I'd want to sit down and eat my meal and enjoy it because I'd know that I wasn't going to get any other food for hours or till the next day or whatever. And I just placed so much importance on that. And yeah.
Wow. What about, did you have any, so obviously sleep, poor energy, erratic moods, did you have any sort of cycle issues with your period?
Not really. Like, it's probably quite surprising that I didn't. Like, no, I'm actually really spot on. Like, after each child, mine's come back like on the 28th day exactly. Like, yeah, so I'm lucky that I actually haven't. Yeah.
Wow. What about, did you have low sex drive too? I can imagine, you know, a lot of women, when they do the really restrictive diets, just have no sex drive.
Oh, I think at times, probably, yeah, at times, but like, yeah, just kind of in waves, like, and, you know, having 3 kids and a really small house and all of that really isn't very conducive to a great sex life. But like, yeah, like, but I don't know, like, when it does happen, it's good, but it's just like such a logistical nightmare. Like,
I bet.
Like, we don't even have a lounge room because at night, in terms of like having a nice evening together, like because we can't get the younger 2 to share a room. So the baby sleeps in a porta cot in the lounge room. So once she goes to bed, my husband and I, like, we have to go to our bedroom and we sit in bed and eat dinner on our lap. And,
I love it. I love it. Yeah, well, that's not really conducive to not so you wouldn't get many opportunities to have a great sex. It would be hard.
And you've got the Labrador between us. She's like had a hard day. That's her favourite time of day, when the kids have gone to bed and she can like lie on the bed with us. And,
that's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow. So talk about the results you've seen since you've been in the program 6 months now. You did one of our break free challenges and then joined after that. So yeah, what are the results you've seen?
Well, when I have the opportunity to sleep, like I do sleep a lot better. I fall asleep much faster and I stay asleep until someone wakes me up. Like 2 to 3 of them are up every single night. So like, it's just, I think, I know, I stopped counting it about 7 times last night that someone was up.
Oh, wow. All the kids.
There's only a certain extent to which that can.
Of course. If no one wakes you up, obviously no amount of food's going to stop the kids from waking you up. But when they don't wake up, you sleep right through.
Oh, well, I would, but yeah, they never don't wake up. Like, they never don't. There's never a night when someone's not up. But yeah, but I do sleep. When I am asleep, my quality of sleep is much better.
Yeah.
And I don't wake up like purely to go to the toilet or because I can't sleep and I'm not awake in bed for like 5 hours before I can go to sleep or anything like that. I think I'm nicer to be around. Like, I think like I'm just more chilled out about stuff. Like, little things going wrong doesn't really faze me anymore. Like, I just kind of take it in my stride, and you know, like I accept that you can't feel good all the time, and that you do sometimes have shitty days, but that's okay. Like, you know, everything's equal, and you need to have the opposite, you know, like there is nothing exists without its opposite. And so some days will be a bit shit and some days will be great, and it's just the way things are, but I don't get upset about it anymore. Yeah, and I'm not all moody and stuff in the morning, and yeah, like I think I'm just nicer to be around, and I'm nicer to myself as well, which I think means that I'm also nicer to be around, because I don't spend hours like agonizing over some conversation I've had with someone where I'm worried that I've said something that was a bit stupid or like that. Like I just don't care anymore. So.
And you must be eating so much more food.
So much more food. Like, so much. Like I've probably eaten more already today than I would eat almost in the past, like in a day. So.
And how much are you eating now?
1,900.
Yeah, wow, that's like double what you were eating before. And what sort of foods are you eating?
Like nothing I keep it pretty simple. Like I don't like cooking, so I keep it really, really simple. Like I have eggs for breakfast almost every morning. If I don't have eggs, I'll have like yogurt and fruit. I have my juice at breakfast, lunch and dinner. For lunch, I eat the same thing every day. Like once a week I just cook up a big lot of beef mince in the slow cooker, and I just eat like way out of however much of that and eat that. And like I'll have some fruit on the side, sometimes some yogurt. That thing. Dinners I mix it up a bit more, but like it's all, just within what we can eat. Like I keep it pretty simple. Like we had green chicken curry last night, but I made heaps, so we'll have that again tonight. I love the air fryer. Like I do fish and chips in the air fryer once a week, which I love. Like most things that I like to cook, I can just readjust a bit to be able to cook. So yeah, it's not hard.
And what are you doing for your training?
Training's a bit of a disaster at the moment because we're not by choice, but because we're in lockdown for so much of like I think when I joined, gyms were still closed. And see, what I used to do is I used to go to this to a fitness studio where they do classes, and so I do about 6 cardio kind of ones of whatever sort, and do some strength as well. But now I'm realizing it probably wasn't really strength, but and so that going back to that wasn't going to work because that's a predefined thing. And so I'd ordered lots of equipment during the first lockdown, so I've got some stuff at home. So I have been doing the home program. In an ideal world, I do 3 sessions a week. Like I have a certain amount of dumbbells, I've got a barbell, got some other stuff, so I just do that. But this is the 6th week of kids being sick, so I just like a few times like I've actually put my stuff on and got all my things out into the lounge room, being ready to start, but then like someone throws up or someone's like, sometimes I'm like, I've got the baby in her chair while I'm like on the floor doing some like chest press or something, and she's screaming. But it hasn't happened like the last month or so. It just I've had like 2 home or 3 home sick. So
hey, wow. That's life, right? That's life. Yeah.
But what I'm wanting to do, like my next challenge is I've been checking out what gyms are around and stuff, and I want to do one of the customized programs and just but I didn't have childcare for the baby until kind of not long ago, so I couldn't kind of go to the gym once they were open. But now that they are, and now that I've got childcare, like I think I should be able to get there, and I'm a little bit nervous about it. But I'm just hoping I can find somewhere where people are nice and where someone's like willing to actually give me a bit of a show me a house
around the gym. You'll be fine. You've done it. If you've learnt what you've learnt so far training at home, you'll be totally fine. You'll be fine.
I don't see any reason why I can't do it. Like it might be hard, but it'll get easier, and
that's exactly right. Good attitude.
I can do it. I just
what are the changes you've seen in your body?
Well, I've lost, I think, nearly 10 kilos because I put on more weight with this 3rd child than the previous ones. which is ridiculous because I could barely eat, but then maybe my metabolism just got so sluggish because I could, like, some days I would be lucky to eat once a day because I just couldn't, I was so sick. And but then the things I could eat were probably pretty bad. Like, I went through a phase of only being able to eat like croissants with tomato and cheese. And so I'd eat like 2 of them a day, and that was like all I could eat, or like Vegemite toast. That was all I could eat for another few weeks. But I think my metabolism got so sluggish from hardly eating and eating just not good things that I just put on so much weight with this third one. So now I'm probably a few kilos heavier than what I tend to average with all the restrictive diets. But I actually think that I look better now. I don't know if it's losing weight slower or in a better way, or like I
probably also getting stronger. You know, you're strength training properly now and getting stronger, which is awesome. And you're building some muscle.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I feel like in the past, like maybe I was a bit kind of like a bit skinny fat, maybe. Like, I just kind of lose lots of kilos, but probably still had quite a high body fat percentage. And it feels like my stomach's flatter now than when I been a similar weight or a bit less in the past. So
well, probably your body composition's different. You've probably got same weight but more muscle and less body fat, which is what we want, and eating way more food as well, which is so awesome, which obviously means it's just way more sustainable, because those other diets are just, I mean, we've all been there and done it. You can only sustain them for so long, and then you just end up eating, well, whatever. People usually gain the weight. So, Allison, when women join our program, they usually have a few reservations, and I'm sure that you probably had similar ones, but a lot of women are really worried about doing it online. So, you know, doing the check-ins with the coach online, learning how to lift with the video feedback. How have you found doing it online?
Look, I actually haven't found it that hard. I think, as I've mentioned, like, I am used to studying online and stuff like that. Look, I actually think it's really convenient because you've got all the videos, you've got all the reading material, you can do it when you want, like whenever that might be, and then you can return to things and watch them again, read them again. And there's heaps of support as well. Like, I don't think I've actually required heaps of support. Maybe the first couple of weeks, like, you had some questions and things like that, but people are really really quick in getting back to you. Like, you post a message on the Slack or you on the Facebook page, and like within minutes, like, people have told you how to do it or given you some suggestions or some advice. Like, there's heaps. Like, I'm surprised of how much support there is. Like, days a week, like, there's coaches like replying to messages and out and stuff. So I don't think it's an issue at all, really, like doing it online. And it's more convenient too, because you can like multitask, like cooking dinner and like listening to like a video about something, or watching a video about something, or walking your dog. And so I haven't found it an issue. Yeah, it's really convenient and good.
Awesome. Yeah, the community is really great. It's a really good group of, I've never, like, so supportive. All the women are really invested, I think, in seeing each other succeed, which is so good. And the second one is the investment. So, you know, women are like, oh, well, lots of us have probably wasted thousands of dollars on stupid programs. But do you feel the investment that you've put in so far has been worth it?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Like, without a doubt. Like, I did the Break Free Challenge, and then after that, I thought, like, I'll sit down and I'll chat to my husband about like continuing on in WOL. And I was like, you know, these are the different options that I could do 3 months or 6 months or whatever. He was like, why don't you just sign up for the year? Like, just do it. Like, it's cheaper overall if you sign up for the year, and you've been so much happier and like, you know, just
he's like, join up.
Just like, do it. And like, I'm quite, I don't know, like, I like to do things that are in the most cost-effective way as well. And I was just like, like, if I sign up for a year, it is way more cost-effective. And so why I was able to, and because I'd made cuts in other areas, like, I'm not drinking now, and I wasn't a massive drinker, but like, even, you know, having a couple of bottles of wine on the weekend, like, if you're not doing that anymore, then that's probably would fund like doing the program. So So yeah, like just making a few adjustments here in there, and like, you know, no takeaway, that kind of thing. Like, yeah. And then in terms of time investment, like it's not, you just readjust things a little bit, I think, as well. Like, you know, like if you're not going to the gym 6 days a week, like you're going to cut your exercise time like in half. So there's some time. Yeah. If you do love a few glasses of wine a night, like, you know how you think you're really productive sometimes when you're having a few wines and you're like running around doing all this stuff and you think you're like doing so well, so efficient, but then you actually like have some time of not drinking and you realize that you really weren't.
So funny. That's so funny, but so true.
So much more effective now of an evening of like getting everyone bathed and fed and into bed, now that I'm not like haven't had a glass or two of wine. Like,
yeah, so good. That's so good.
Yeah.
I feel you, because I used to be the same way. And finally, if a woman was sitting on the fence about joining, what would you say to her?
Oh, well, you might as well just give it a go, really. Like, because if it's not for you or you don't like it, then you just stop doing it. Like, there's not really much to lose. Like, I'm someone that just kind of jumps in and gives different things a go. And if you're willing to like do other kinds of crazy diets, like why not try something that's completely different? Like it's, I had a bit of a George Costanza moment. Like, remember that episode when he's like, you know, when he decides to do the opposite?
Oh, yeah.
Everything I've been doing until now was wrong, then the opposite must be right. The opposite of everything. And so I just was like, yeah, well, if everything else hasn't been working, why not do something? Yeah, why not do the opposite?
Yeah. 100%. I was the same too. I was like, I feel like I found the Holy Grail. You know, this is the opposite of everything I've done, but it made so much sense. And then obviously as you get into the program, you start learning more about the body, and don't you think now you're like, how the fuck did I do all of that for so long? Definitely. You know, like it just goes against like basic human physics, but you guess you don't know. Like you think when you join those other programs, you're never educated. Do you feel like you're free now from restrictive diets?
I do actually. Yeah, no, I do. Like I don't kind of, obsess so much about, about my next meal, because I like, you know, it's like it's my last meal, or, you know, well, it might be, you know, like I just kind of, I don't know, I just like get my food ready and just eat it. And I feel like I'm always eating, and like I wouldn't give up juice now for the world.
Oh, I know.
I haven't eaten drunk juice for like, I reckon I hadn't drunk juice for like 20 years. Like, I'm not giving that up for the world.
Isn't it the best? I feel like every time I drink juice, I always say to Craig, and he pays me out massively. Like he does this impersonation of me. I was like, oh my God, this is so amazing. How amazing is this juice? Isn't juice amazing? Like I say it like nearly, I'll be sitting there drinking on the couch, like the freshly squeezed juice. I'm like, this is just incredible. He's like, yes, Kitty, I know how amazing the juice is. You say it every single day, but it's like the nectar of the gods, I reckon.
Oh, it's the best. And ice cream. Like I didn't realize that I loved ice cream so much. And like my husband laughs at me because like every night at around a certain time, like I go and weigh out my fudge, because I eat fudge after my ice cream, and I weigh out my ice cream and I leave it like sitting on in a little bowl to get a bit melty, and then I'm eating the ice cream. I'm just like, how good's ice cream?
Oh, I'm the same every night. Every night I eat ice cream without fail. Like I've tried to have some different things. I'm like, nah, always back to ice cream, because it's just the best. It is the best. Hey?
So like, well, I suppose, you know, if you were sitting on the fence, like, you know, imagine, being able to eat ice cream every single night, like fudge every single night. Like I eat both every single night. Like
it's a dream come true.
I drink like, you know.
And losing weight.
And losing weight, yeah. Like I don't feel like I'm on a diet, because I'm eating more food than I've ever eaten. I'm eating all the stuff that I was told that I shouldn't eat. Like I'm eating fruit again, which I cut out years ago. Like, I used to have almond milk in my coffee.
Same.
And like I have heard that you said you used to make your own almond milk. I didn't get to that point because I couldn't be bothered. But yeah, like
I know. Shoot me now. I used to blend it all up and put it through the cheesecloth. Well, I remember when I had my first like full fat latte with sugar in it again, and I was just like, and I'd have it every day, and I think, oh, this is incredible. You know, this is the most. I just love coffee now, because before I just drank black or the almond milk or with the soy milk.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Oh, and I'd be like, I can't have too many coffees, and and I have to have the almond milk because it's low carb.
Yeah.
So, because oh my God, like I just can't believe how many carbs that I can eat as well. Because like in the I remember like I saw a naturopath once a couple of years ago, and she decided that I was overly carb sensitive, and that I needed to cut my carbs even more than like that I had. And but it's crazy. And so I actually believe that my body didn't like carbs or that. But now like I'm eating so many carbs, like it's like sometimes I enjoy doing my meal plans each night. I just quickly do after dinner I'll just do my MyFitnessPal for the next day. And I quite enjoy it because I like working with numbers, and and it's a bit fun. Like it's a bit of a competition. Like how much juice can I have like at dinner? Like maybe I can have like 300 mils of juice.
I love it. I know it is amazing. It blows your mind too. Like I often think that now at how much I can eat and how much carbs I can eat now. It's just, and I never would have thought I could ever do anything like this, back when I was in the restrictive dieting stages. But I guess the more you learn and you do it and you realize that, that shit's just a never ending train to nowhere, to misery.
It's just, it's crazy. Like, and just all the bullshit supplements and all that stuff. Like I was catching up with a friend the other day, and she's having all kinds of she thinks she is estrogen dominant, and her naturopath or whatever person was telling her that she needs more fish oil, and now she's like on a crazy amount of fish oil.
Oh God, that's like the worst thing she could do. I bet you were sitting there just thinking, like, don't do it.
Oh, well, I've decided in the last few weeks that I need to control my facial expressions in response to people's things that they tell me. But like this might even been a couple of months ago. And so like I didn't realize, but I was just like, and then she was like, what? And,
that's hilarious.
But
I feel ya. When people tell me that too, you just have to shut your mouth.
Yeah.
I think just let people go on their own journey.
Yeah, and I need to remember too, like there have been so many times where like people could be forgiven for thinking that I'm full of shit, because there's so many times that I've thought that I found the best thing ever, and I'm telling everyone about it. Like I'm like, oh, this keto, it's like the best thing that's ever happened to me, like, and then they see me like 6 months later, and I'm like, nah, I'm off it now. I'm doing this. And so, like, I was always doing something different. So,
yeah, I think the thing is with all those other diets, you can easily lose the weight. It's easy, but you just end up with all these issues like we have discussed, and it's never sustainable. Whereas this is just, I'm just going to eat normally and nourish my body and strength train and build some muscle. And it's just, you can easily maintain a healthy body weight, body fat, because you're actually giving your body what it needs instead of starving it. And then, eating crap, which I think is what most women do. But it's just, it's hard though, because the fitness industry, I think, you're bombarded with all this information about how sugar's so bad and carbs are so bad and you shouldn't eat dairy, and it's hard to sift through all the crap. But it's good you're in the right place now.
Oh, definitely, yeah. And like I like that we actually count macros and stuff like that, because like I've done some things that were like, you don't need to. Calories are bullshit, macros are bullshit. You just, like paleo and stuff like that. But
everything's important. It's all important.
Like a perfect combination of my enjoyment of data and but then I don't know, like I don't feel like I'm being obsessive doing it at all. It's just kind of like
it's more a tool to help you optimize your body, I think. Yeah, it's not like, I actually did a live about this morning, because I think a lot of women with the tracking, they're like so against the tracking. I'm like, that's because you've always used tracking to restrict.
Yes.
This isn't about restriction. This is about fueling your body and eating more food and learning about your body and understanding your body and teaching you and getting you to your goal. And then once you do it for a while, it's like some women will continue to do it. Some women will just fall back on it as a tool. Some will be like me and I just sometimes track, don't track, you know, like it's not a, like you say, I'm not tied to it. It's not, I don't live and die by the tracking, but it's such a valuable, I think, tool to use while you're learning and getting to your goal, because you just don't know. Most women either don't eat enough or they don't eat enough, then they binge. Like that's the two extremes, I think. And when you actually start to track it, you finally go, oh shit, you know, like this is how much I need to eat to, like say you were eating 900 calories, you're eating 1900 calories consistently and losing body fat, you know? So
it's mad. Like I think, like when I used to use MyFitnessPal, like sometimes I'd want to cry, like looking at what I was going to eat for the next day. Like I'd just be like, oh fuck, you know, like and you'd be like, oh, I'll pull that back a bit, you know, I'll pull that back a bit, or I'll, you know, I'll miss breakfast, so then that'll give me some more calories to have this dinner that I'm going to eat. But then,
crazy.
Now I'm just like, shit, I've got like, you know, I've got like 50 grams of carbs to play with. We'll have a bit more juice there. We'll like, you know, I'll up my ice cream a bit, you know.
Yeah,
like
so good.
Eating 150 grams of ice cream a night, like.
Yum.
Ice cream, but
yum.
Yeah.
No, you're making me hungry. I'm like, I'd still need my lunchtime. That's why I'm so hungry.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no. Just all the talking about the food and the ice cream. But that was so great. Is there anything else you want to add before we finish up?
Oh, probably things I'll think of later. But like, I just think that, I think that if you just want it, like, just give it a go for people. Like, just give it a go. Like, you've got nothing to lose, and, you know, like, just give it a go, because you do have the time. You know, the time that you spend like scrolling, you know, Instagram and Facebook and all of that, like, just don't do that for maybe half an hour, and then you've got the time to do this. And it becomes, I think it was like Anna was saying the other day on her live, like, it's once you start, after a few weeks, like, it's just not hard, really. Like, I reckon I actually cook less than I used to and spend less time cooking.
I agree. And you waste way less food too, I think. Yeah, you save money on food as well.
Oh, totally. Like, I cook so much in bulk now. And like, I only cook like 3 times a week and just cook extra so that we can have leftovers or whatever. And like, I don't actually cook that much. And because I use fewer ingredients, I'm not like running around buying like crazy, you know, like paleo wraps from some obscure little, you know, health shop somewhere and all of that stuff. Like, I'm just kind of eating simple, basic foods that, and not putting much time or effort into cooking them. And so I think everyone does have the time, really. And also, I suppose, like, if you are worried about the time factor, like, I think as well, like, if you do, it'll just make your life better in terms of once you are eating better and eating more, like, you just feel better and you're nicer to people around you and all of that, and life just doesn't feel so hard. Nothing kind of things that used to kind of get you really stressed out and really kind of weigh you down, like, they don't bother you so much anymore. So then you feel like, I feel like I have freed up time also through not stressing over bullshit and not wasting my time on crap, because I feel better about myself and I don't need to spend time, agonizing over silly little things and or umming and ahhing about doing stuff. Like, if I want to do something, I just do it now.
So good. So good. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. And hopefully this will help a woman who's thinking about, you know, jumping over to the dark side of sugar and orange juice and strength training. That was awesome. Thanks so much, Allison. I'll chat to you in the program.
Okay, thank you.
Bye. Bye.